Deb Marcello from Happier at Home back with us this morning. She joins us every week with important topics relating to senior care. And this week, we are talking about communicating with your healthcare providers. Good morning, Deb. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
Good.
Very well. Thanks so much for waking up with us. We were just talking about some of the preparation before going to the doctor just a couple of minutes ago.
Yes.
Can you talk to us about that? Because you mentioned things like know what medications, bring a list of the medications, write down questions in advance, things of that nature.
Yes, because when you're in front of the doctor, sometimes it seems like you're rushed or you just get a little nervous. So writing down a list of your questions, prioritizing what you'd like to talk about. Maybe if you have certain symptoms, make sure that you're speaking up and tell them about those symptoms. Don't wait for the doctor just to ask you questions because there might be some important information. But one of the other things is to make sure that you're being specific about what your symptoms might be. Don't have a story about, well, my granddaughter called me and in the middle of that and I was making coffee. Just be succinct and talk to the doctor about what your concerns are too. Bringing a list of your medications is always important because they always ask to update the medications, because sometimes you might stop taking one of your medications or they might not have an updated list. So making sure that you have something like that written down and bring it with you too. So
we've talked about this in the past, but how important can it be for, we are talking about seniors, to bring someone with you to that appointment?
It's so important because sometimes they're speaking to you and they're giving you so much information, it's hard to absorb it and then remember too.
And it's overwhelming.
It is. So if you bring a family member, a friend, I mean, we have caregivers or care managers that can go with them too, because that person can even jot down notes. Because the doc is going to be telling you things that he or she wants you to follow up on. So having that list of, okay, these are the things I need to do when I leave here. Maybe there's a medication change, and then there's these exercises he wants me to do, something like that. So having someone with you can just verify what you heard, and they could take notes or something like that for you.
I think it's also important because there's a lot of times some people withhold information. They don't want to dive in or go too deep or too personal about something because that's private, and if something's wrong, the doctor would have noticed. Where if you've got your kid with you, your kid can say, Mom, no, we're talking about this.
Yeah, just to keep you honest about it too, because you're right. Sometimes they're like, oh, that's a little embarrassing to talk about, but to just bring things up. And it's nice to have a conversation with your doctor. I remember even for myself, I thought, I went to a dermatologist, Dr. Arthur, for one thing. And before she left, she said, Deb, is there anything else I could help you with? And I was like, you know what? This little thing on my leg just popped up like that. Yeah. And she's like, you're lucky you told me about that. Yeah. So if you feel it might not even be important, bring it to the doctor's attention, because you never know.